Saturday morning, we kick off the Experts program on Power Talk Radio, and our tech expert, Luis Alvarez, is with us once again to get things going here. Hey, Luis, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Mark. How are you?
Not bad. What you guys doing this weekend?
So this weekend, I might be sailing tomorrow on Sunday. We have a regatta, ladies' day races. These are skippers that are all women, and those of us that are not women get to crew. So I'm looking forward to seeing if we can get enough folks interested to get a nice group of boats out there. We have some amazing women sailors at the yacht club of all ages, and it's always fun to work with them on the water.
Hey, today in Old Town Salinas is the third annual Festa Italia. They're doing their own Italian festival. So I'll be heading down there, and just as soon as we get done checking that out. Are you guys going to make it by there at all?
Yeah, actually, we were talking to some friends over the fourth holiday about meeting up over in Salinas. It promises to be a nice day and get to enjoy another warm afternoon before I'm sure the cooling trend will start next week at some point. But it looks like a lot of fun. I know people that went last year and really enjoyed it.
Hey, well, I'll look forward to meeting you guys under the Salinas Arch.
Sounds like a plan.
All righty. Hey, Luis, there's an interesting story that came up on ABC7 out of San Francisco about a credit union in the Bay Area that got hit with a gigantic ransomware attack, so severe that the customers were not able to access their accounts for a couple of days. And then the latest we heard was that they are only able to maybe withdraw $500 a day. And this is really a severe one. This is the Patelco Credit Union, and I did a little research on it, and it's a credit union that's open to everybody, but it started out from 1933 to 1983. It was the Pacific Telephone Company Employees Credit Union. And then after Judge Green's consent decree, where all the baby bells were broken up, one of the things that they did is they slimmed down a lot of employees was in order to keep the banking services going, they opened up the banking services through the credit union to just anybody. So it's not just for telephone company employees, and it hasn't been for 40 years. But that's a little background.
But it's a big credit union. I mean, it's like a multi-billion-dollar operation with, I think dozens of branches throughout Northern California. And for them to have to essentially shut down all of their operations, it must have been a very serious attack. I know that they've brought in some third-party forensics folks. They haven't mentioned who specifically, but, there's a lot of companies out there that have been very busy these last few years helping companies who suffered a breach like this figure out how it happened and try to get them back into working order. But hopefully by Monday, they will have been able to resolve it to the point that they can, get back up and running. But as you mentioned, in the interim, a lot of their employees, or a lot of their customers, they have over, 500,000 customers that are having a hard time doing things like, cash withdrawals from ATMs. And, some people are really concerned about checks not clearing in time and them getting some sort of fine or penalty from whoever they wrote the check to. So the credit union has gone so far as to say, hey, if any of you get hit with any of those penalties or fees, we'll cover them for you. So they anticipate this is going to take a while to get back to normal.
Do they have any idea of how this happened, where it came from, the nature of the attack?
And not anything that they've spoken about publicly. I can tell you that more likely than not, this is going to be either a ransomware gang working under the auspices of a nation state like Russia or China, or a nation state actor itself. One of the things that Homeland Security has been warning companies of all sizes about is that we are literally at war against an adversary in Russia and China and North Korea to some extent, and a few others who they want nothing more than to disrupt our infrastructure. And if something like this, even if they don't pay any sort of ransom to recover, if they're disrupted for several days, if not several weeks, it's their objective of the bad guys to try to be as disruptive as possible. So we've been working with our clients to try to do everything we possibly can to protect them and put in the protections that they can afford. But this is a wake-up call for anybody who thinks that they're immune or, why would they come after me? It's like they don't care. They're going to go after everybody. So you really need to do your due diligence and make sure that you're protected as well as you can be.
There's an interesting comment from a cybersecurity expert named Tony Colson, quoted in the article, who says that in the end, the insurance companies pick up the tab. He said the dumbest criminal today is the one that walks into a bank with a gun to rob the bank. You're not going to get anything. The smart ones are the ones doing this because they know there'll be an insurance payout. And I guess that's the thing. The insurance company that they have the cybersecurity insurance that this Patelco Credit Union has is likely going to pick up the majority of the tab or even the entire tab.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll be not just the cost of any sort of ransom that they have to pay, which sometimes goes into the tens of millions of dollars, but also just recovering the data, getting back into operation, the cost of the forensics folks that, they're not inexpensive. They come in when you need them, companies like Mandiant, but you're going to pay a premium to get them to help you in front of everybody else, because there's a whole group of folks that are being hit every day.
Yeah.
But insurance companies are the ones that pick up the tab, and then, they pass it along by increasing premiums. So at the end of the day, we all pay for it.
That's right. And one of the interesting things about this, thinking about Tony Colson's comment, the guy that goes into the bank with the gun and robs it, maybe he hits $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. He's committed a federal crime. If he's caught, or when he's caught, he ends up going to somewhere like Leavenworth. These guys steal millions of dollars, get this gigantic payout, and they never get prosecuted, get off scot-free, because they're, like you say, they're either a nation-state actor or they're guys that are working under the auspices of a nation-state. They are absolutely removed from any form of retribution from American law enforcement.
Yeah, it's rare when somebody that is part of one of these gangs is prosecuted, because they're protected by wherever they happen to be. Sometimes it's really bad places like Russia or China, but sometimes it's other places that have an unfriendly relationship with the United States. There's more and more of these gangs popping up in Africa and Asia, for example, where it's difficult for Western security services to get in there and look for them. So that Nigerian prince is still out there trying to take your money. Yeah. So be careful when you get that email. It's not true.
One of the other things that the cybersecurity expert Colson said was that in this country, we have about 500,000 person deficit in cybersecurity. And until we can fill those jobs, we're going to continue to put up with these types of attacks frequently. How about that, Lewis?
A truer statement never been spoken, but it's been a problem for a number of years. We have a deficit in certain areas in the tech industry. A lot of people who are trying to train for these jobs, but these jobs also require a lot of experience and a lot of on-the-job training to get to the point where you can be effective. But that deficit isn't going to be filled anytime soon, unfortunately, because STEM jobs are not something that kids today seem to be attracted to, despite the fact that they pay well and there's a lot of them out there.
Any chance that you guys can put together your own cybersecurity academy and start training a few people here and there for that kind of work?
We have done a lot of internships. We work with Hartnell and their STEM folks and with MPC to provide as much training and exposure as we can. And, we do our monthly cybersecurity meetups where we invite people to come in and learn about what the latest and most important things in cybersecurity are. And hopefully that will motivate them to consider a career in cybersecurity or even any other technology-related career.
Right. Well, if somebody had a school where they were training employees to do various types of work with high tech, you would think that this would be a path to success for the school because of the great news or the great need for these types of experts.
Absolutely. I think if there's a lot of vocational schools out there right now that are focusing on cybersecurity training, I would caution anyone that looks into that don't be fooled by the advertising that says, hey, you go to school for 6 months and then you get a $100,000 job. It doesn't work that way. The school is important and the training is important, but more important is the experience that companies are looking for. So if you do get into one of these careers, just do the best you can and you'll be promoted as fast as you're capable of learning.
That's Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us today online. It's alvareztg.com. @AlvarezTG is the X handle. And Luis, the toll-free number for the I-Team.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-TEAM. That's 866-784-8326.
And looking ahead to Monday, what are we talking about?
Well, we're going to be talking about photonics. And if you want to know what that's all about, tune in because you're going to learn about what the future looks like for networking and computer communications.
All right. That's Monday morning starting at 8:30 right here on Power Talk. Luis, thanks so much.
Take care, my friend.